I'm right chip post, man. I got this.
I just had to let you enjoy that one. That never ever gets old.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome into the center of the ring our second performer for your co-main event of the evening. Please help me welcome Miss Tatiana Kurtukova. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as he makes his ring walk for your co-main event for the vacant WBA Interim Super Featherweight Championship. Fighting out of the gold corner, representing his home of Russia, BERESFORD. Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at your co-main event of the evening. Your co-main event of the evening is officially sanctioned by the World Boxing Association for 19 round of po 3 minutes. 12 3-minute rounds of action for the vacant WBA interim super featherweight championship title. We're joined in the ring by your WBA supervisor in charge of the belt and the action ringside, Carlos Chavez from Spain. And now to get our officials underway, we'd like to kindly ask our audience to rise as we honor the great nation and the Republic of Ireland with their national anthem. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to show our respects to the great host nation, please rise for the national anthem of the Russian Federation. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your co-main event of the evening, proudly brought to you by Liga Slovak, IBA Champion of Noche, under the visionary guidance of our IBA President, Mr. Umar Nazarovich Kremlev. This bout is officially sanctioned by the World Boxing Association in association with the IBA and the Russian Boxing Federation for 19 roundov po 3 minutes, 12 3-minute rounds of action for the vacant WBA interim super featherweight championship title. Your 3 judges being representing us tonight ringside from the WBA, from the Kingdom of Thailand, we have Judge Brayasa. From Venezuela, Reina Avila. And finally, your 3rd judge ringside from Puerto Rico, Roberto Ramirez Jr. And when the action begins, your 4th official in the center of the ring, Manuel, representing the WBA by way of Panama, with referee Guillermo Perez-Pineda. Overseeing all the action ringside, our WBA supervisor in charge of the officials from Desde España, Carlos Chavez.
Come on, man.
And now, introducing first, fighting out of the black corner, tonight against the ring, 32 years old, a southpaw fighter, standing at a height of 170 centimeters tall, weighing in officially at 58.9 kg. He enters the ring tonight holding a professional boxing record, 27 fights, 24 victories, 2 coming in by way of knockout, and 2 losses with only a single draw. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting a former world champion and the fighting pride of Dublin, Ireland, King Kong, Jonathan Jono Carroll. And across the ring to the challenger, fighting out of the gold corner, he enters the ring tonight, 26 years old, a southpaw fighter, standing at a height of 182 centimeters tall, 82 centimeters, weighing officially at 58.86 kg, 58.86 kilograma. Tonight he enters the ring holding a professional boxing record, a perfect one, 10 fights, 10 victories. He stands undefeated, 7 побед, walkouts. Representing Premier Boxing, дамы и господа, он чемпион мира, олимпийский игр Токио. Добро пожаловать из Нижних Бортов, России, Albert
So here we go, 12 rounds for the vacant WBA interim super featherweight title between Albert BATYRGAZIEV and Jono Carroll. Both made the weight first time of asking. In terms of the rankings, BATYRGAZIEV is at 7, Carroll is at number 2. Lamont Roach is the WBA champion, having dethroned Hector Garcia. We have a southpaw up against a southpaw here. The highlight win on BATYRGAZIEV's record is Jezreel Corrales, former WBA super featherweight champion. Passed his best by the time he met BATYRGAZIEV, but still a good win, a good performance. Carroll had that world title fight against Tevin Farmer that I mentioned. He went the distance but came up short. Came back from that with a really good win against Scott Quigg. Then at the start of COVID, or a few months into COVID, took a fight with Maxie Hughes up at lightweight and lost, which set him back, but he got back on track with a win against Andy Vences and has been waiting for an opportunity since then, really. Nice use of the jab there from Carroll. BATYRGAZIEV looking to try and do the same thing. It's a busy start for both fighters. Carroll putting plenty into this opening round so far. Good work to the body there from Carroll. Again, just trying to plan out that jab, then dip off and throw the uppercut. BATYRGAZIEV got through with the left hand himself. Nice and composed in the opener here with the Russian. 12 rounds is a long time. I think he's happy to see Carroll work this hard at this early stage, start this quick maybe. Into the final minute of the round. He looks like a looping left hand, BATYRGAZIEV. That's something you'll notice. He's done some accurate work with that lead right hand at times, BATYRGAZIEV, in this opening round. But Carroll again with the jab there has been the busier of the two. Has looked to try and get on top of BATYRGAZIEV early. Dips underneath the right hand of BATYRGAZIEV. Comfortably there, Carroll. BATYRGAZIEV just coming into it more towards the end of the round in his final minute of the three. Carroll just looking to set his feet and let his hands go there. Catches BATYRGAZIEV with a right hook as the round draws to a conclusion. That's a high-octane start from the visitor. Albert Irapetian in his corner, as has been the case for a long time. Interesting journey in boxing, Carroll. He had to endure quite a lot of heartbreak and personal tragedy as a young man and ended up leaving Ireland, going to Australia, started his career there. But it was when he came back to Ireland that he really started to take things seriously. A local derby against a fighter called Declan Geraghty really got everything moving. A win in the prize fight, 3-round tournament format, again was a good springboard. Into the second. Nice jab there from BATYRGAZIEV to start the round. I gave Carroll that opening round. I felt he outworked BATYRGAZIEV overall. BATYRGAZIEV, though, came into it more in the final stages and has started this second round looking nice and sharp, particularly with that lead right hand. He set a high pace in that opening round, Carroll. He's well versed in going the distance, we know that. Both of them just swapping jabs. Just revolving around each other in the centre of the ring. He's got a real wide back on him, BATYRGAZIEV. That's something you notice about him. Whips a left hand over the top and then goes down to the body. And this is getting pretty hot, this fight already. Carroll very, very happy to get in tight and try and trade. BATYRGAZIEV just tucking up to the body there. Solid looking 1-2 there for BATYRGAZIEV, but the gloves are up from Carroll. BATYRGAZIEV can keep this longer. He's got that kind of reach on him, and he's got really long arms. When you see him just drop them down to his side, he's got unusually long arms, which lots of boxers do. It's one of the things that makes you suited to the sport. Wide kind of clubbing right hand there from Carroll, who's digging in and making a statement early here. That's what he's trying to do anyway. Solid straight left hand there from BATYRGAZIEV. Again, good use of the jab there by BATYRGAZIEV. Carroll trying to go down to the body. Started in kickboxing, BATYRGAZIEV. Moved on to boxing. Won that gold medal at Tokyo at featherweight, beating Lazaro Alvarez in the semi-finals. The much decorated Cuban, and then America's Duke Reagan in the final. Both of those are on 3-2 splits. He came from behind actually against Alvarez, so he had a couple of real close ones that went his way to get that gold medal. As is often the case, you need a rubber the green with decisions if you're going to win an Olympic gold medal generally. WBC belt swapped hands at super featherweight last week. A win for Robson Conceição against Oshaki Foster. Conceição, another Olympic gold medalist, actually won his in Rio in 2016. That was a lightweight. It's a good division. Into the third round. Just getting caught a bit more by that jab on the way in now, Carroll. He's got to try and keep that head on the move. Does it well there. But as I say, BATYRGAZIEV has got that long reach, and if he can back up and give himself a bit of space, then that jab could be absolutely key here. That's what you need against a fighter like Carroll. He's got to try and move that head, employ that lateral move, and get up close tight like he is there, and then get his punches away. He just beckons BATYRGAZIEV in because he will want him to engage at close quarters. That's the kind of fight he wants. Good right hand there from Carroll. Fantastic shot from Carroll. Did he touch down there, BATYRGAZIEV? I'm not absolutely sure, but he's in trouble here. He's looking to try and hang on to Jono Carroll. They cut him high on the head, maybe. His balance completely went. 1:40 left in the round. Carroll has got to try and pick his punches here. He went lurching into the ropes there, BATYRGAZIEV. That's a real flashpoint. Carroll just trying to stalk him and follow him across the ring. BATYRGAZIEV looks to me like he's got himself reasonably back together, but one more clean shot could change all of that. The Irish fans just roaring Carroll on. He's brought a few over, friends and family. Wide-looking left hand there from Carroll. But really interesting to get another look at that. He very nearly went down, BATYRGAZIEV. I did wonder in real time whether a glove touched the canvas. I don't think it did. Carroll just setting his feet and looking for the body there. A minute remaining in the round. I think he knows, Carroll, that BATYRGAZIEV isn't quite ready to go here, so maybe he doesn't want to blow a gasket at this stage, but when a fighter gets the send the blood in their nostrils, generally speaking, they just let it all go. And the home crowd just getting behind their man now as well. And Carroll steps in with that left hand. 20 seconds remaining in round 3. He's put an awful lot into this round, Carroll. BATYRGAZIEV just trying to get a left hand up towards the end of the round. It looks to me like he's recovered pretty well. But that's the most significant moment of the fight so far, because he was properly hurt there. Albert BERESFORD, far side of the ring from me. It was a right hand that I think maybe clipped him a little bit high on the head. Could have been around about the temple just because of the way the legs reacted. They just disappeared from underneath him almost. Carroll just heaving the breath in. And that was it. And I think that glove did touch down in real time. I wondered whether the glove had touched down. It's not conclusive, but he stumbles forward. That left glove goes down. And does it touch the canvas? I think it probably did, and that should really have been scored as a knockdown. The referee obviously didn't quite see it, and it's difficult to tell whether it brushed the canvas, but given the way his balance was going, it's kind of difficult to see how it wouldn't have. In any case, it wasn't given by the referee, but that was a round for Carroll, courtesy of that damaging blow, scored with that right hook. And he knows that he can hurt BERESFORD now, and BERESFORD knows it too. Carroll looking for that overhand left. BERESFORD trying to let that 1-2 flow. When he does get in a flow, he looks dangerous. He just slides those shots out. Carroll of the pair of them, more of a effort fighter, if you like. BERESFORD looking for the body. Carroll just trying to beckon them in. Nice exchange on the inside there. Carroll again just keeping that head on the move, rolls off to his right-hand side. Good feet there, though, from BERESFORD. This is a close round. Good right hand there for BERESFORD. Just caught Carroll as he was trying to let his left hand go. Good strong left hand there from BERESFORD. That just backed Carroll up a little bit and then catches him with a right as well. And this is a good response here from BERESFORD, given what happened to him in the previous round. That was some accurate, crisp punching. Carroll again just heaving in that left hand though. But BERESFORD finding a bit of range here. Carroll though fires back with the left. I think he could just feel that the momentum was beginning to move against him there and decided he needed to do something about it. Straight left hand again there from BERESFORD, but just before that, there was that combination on the inside from Carroll. A terrific action here. And this is a grueling fight already. Carroll digs those toes in and looks to let his hands go at the end of the round. Good uppercut there from BERESFORD. Well, this is set up beautifully, 4 rounds in. Those winging hooks from Carroll have done some good work for him. But BERESFORD had a bit of a purple patch towards the start of the final minute of that round, where he found some really good quality shots. But again, there wasn't much in that round. Rounds 2 and 4, been tight rounds. Carroll won the opener, and he won round 3, courtesy of that right hand, which should have been a 10-8, I think. I think it's extremely likely that that glove made some contact with the canvas. But as I said, this is set up beautifully. 8 rounds to go. And BERESFORD just looking to shrivel up on the jab there. And this is what the Russian is able to do, is keep it at this range, keep it on the end of that jab. But Carroll, good at moving that head, getting off the line just enough to allow himself to get past that jab. That's good body work there from Carroll. He's got to keep that going. BERESFORD just looking to try and turn that left hand over a little bit. Didn't quite have space for it. BERESFORD has to keep shooting that jab. If he neglects that at any stage, then Carroll will be on him. Carroll's looking for the uppercut there. Good, strong, straight left hand there for BERESFORD. Carroll takes it. Just over a minute remaining in round 5. And again, these two just in punching range all of the time. Just revolving clockwise, counterclockwise around each other, pretty much in the center of the ring. Carroll just looking for that left hand over the top. Decent looking left hand there from BERESFORD. That's that one that he kind of loops in over the top, on the diagonal almost. He looked for it again there. He's too far out. Into the final 30 seconds. Again, there's not much to pick between them in this one either. I think maybe the sharper, cleaner punching has come from BERESFORD, who makes contact with that big overhand left and nodded the head there from Carroll. It's the end swell out there and the Q-tip up the nose as well, and both of these two feeling it after 5 rounds. Carroll in his corner. Looks like he's feeling the pace a little bit more than BERESFORD, but you've got to remember that he is the more experienced fighter. He knows how to navigate his way through 12 rounds in a way that his opponent potentially doesn't. And some fighters just get that kind of look about them quite early in a fight and just keep it the rest of the way through. So I wouldn't read too much into appearances. There's that jab again from BERESFORD. Trying to find that looping left hand there by BERESFORD as well, and I just cannot overstate how important that jab is for him. He's just got to keep throwing it. For a fraction of a second there, he didn't really do anything, BERESFORD, and Carroll was straight onto him. But there's that jab again, just sets Carroll off balance. followed by the right hand. Good short left hand that time for BERESFORD. And then dips his knees and sends it into the body. Midway through the round, and he just turns that left hand over a little bit there, BERESFORD. Carroll working all of the time. Perpetual motion from these two, really. The hands just being pushed out again and again and again. And BERESFORD just finding a home flat, looping left hand again there. At times it's looked like he's about to get on top, BERESFORD, in this round, and Carroll just hasn't quite let it happen. A left hand there from the Irishman. And again just sets his feet, but again just finds his head knocked back by the jab. And this is going to ask very serious questions of these two in the second half, because this has been a hard fight already and we're not quite at the halfway stage. Carroll said he was going to drag BERESFORD into deep waters and drown him. Well, we will see about that in the second half. Good right hand there again from Carroll, but BERESFORD pays him back straight away. Left hand to the body there from the Russian. Final few seconds of the round. So the halfway stage. It's a close fight. There's plenty of close rounds in that first six. Well, that is Zhao Xinjiang, who will be challenging for that vacant WBA Bridgeweight title. Next up against Muslim Gadjimagomedov. He had a great win back in February against Evgeny Romanov in Ekaterinburg. Romanov, bought by the Titovs, the Russian copper company. He was undefeated. He wasn't supposed to lose that fight. He put Zhang down in the first round. The writing seemed to be writ large on the wall. And he was giving it to him in the second round, and then Zhang caught him with the right hand, knocked him down. He beat the count, but he wasn't steady. And in the blink of an eye, as you can in boxing and only in boxing, the big Chinese fighter turned it around. And the referee, I think, is saying that there's maybe a little bit too much Vaseline on the eye there of Carroll. It is swelling up a touch, that left eye. Looking down at my own card, I've got BERESFORD ahead just at halfway. Carroll had the biggest moment. He was hurt, BERESFORD, in that third round, definitely. But he managed to recover from it by the end of the round and hasn't shown any ill effects since. There's that looping left hand again. And again there is so loose the way he throws it. He kind of just lassos it in. Carroll just will not be deterred. He knows he's got to keep finding that way onto the inside. He's got to keep that upper body on the move, dip those knees, move that head, just get inside that long-rangey lead right hand of BERESFORD. Left hand into the hip there from Carroll, left hand up top, and then a decent jab as well. He's just moved BERESFORD back there. Nice right hand into the body there from Carroll, then the uppercut just chipping away to the body. That's good work by the Irishman. I think maybe knows that a couple had probably gone against him, and that he needs to dig in even more this round and get this one. That's the way I'm seeing it. BERESFORD lets those hands go. Decent looking left and right again there from Carroll. Both of them were half blocked, but he got into range. He was where he needed to be. BERESFORD in the second half of this round has struggled to try and keep it long. Carroll in tight. That's his kind of fight at that distance. Left hand there from Carroll. Final few seconds of the round. And another left. BERESFORD trying to come back with that 1-2. And blood coming from the corner of the right eye there of Jono Carroll. There's a cut in there. I don't know whether that was from a punch or a clash of heads. We might get some kind of indication from the referee. The blood coming from the corner of the right eye. Could have been a clash of heads towards the end there. It was right at the end of the round. Didn't quite get a look at it there, but a little bit of work for the corner to do. That's Evgeny Tischenko, I mentioned earlier on. Olympic gold medalist, World Championship gold medalist. Rio 2016, Doha 2015. So into the eighth. A lot of Vaseline smeared on the corner of that eye. BERESFORD will take encouragement from that. It could have been that left hand that caused it. We didn't get any kind of sign from the referee, any kind of signal. We're well beyond the completion of 4 rounds, obviously, so were it to have been caused by a head clash, and the fight got stopped as a result of it, then it would go to the cards. A little bit of a problem with the tape around the wrist of the left glove there of BERESFORD. And there we could just get a little bit of a better look at the cut. It's not great. It seems to be on the eyelid rather than kind of on the eyebrow. So the blood does look like it's going into Carroll's eye. I'm right next to the ringside doctor, actually, who's having a close look, but not looking too concerned about it currently. And there's that looping left hand, and that's not what he needs to be getting hit with here, Jono Carroll. 2 or 3 catch him in succession there. He beckons BERESFORD in, but he needs no second invitation here, the Russian. He's looking to try and put some heavy work in this round, I think. Again, that left hand caught him quite high on the head. But there's a real spring in the step now of BERESFORD, and Carroll has just got to try and get through this, just ride this out and make sure he does take this deep, because you just don't know what can happen in the final few rounds when somebody hasn't been there, and this has been a hot pace. I'm speaking like BERESFORD is well out in the lead here. I haven't got that on my card, but I do have him ahead. Carroll just rocked onto his heels there. And he's just becoming a slightly more open target now, Jono Carroll, and those sharp scalpel-like hands of BERESFORD doing some damage. This is a big round for him. That cut opening up at the end of the previous round, and he's doled out some serious punishment in this 8th round, pretty much from beginning to end. Carroll again just sets his feet, and you can hear the effort. I can hear the grunt there as he just heaved that left hand in, but that cut is a problem because I don't think he can really see that left hand coming particularly. And again there, the blood is going into the eye. And this is going to lower the resistance levels of Jono Carroll quite considerably, I would say, this 8th round. He set a hot pace right from the beginning of the fight. The question would be whether he could keep it up. And there's nothing that takes it out of you more than getting hit. And he's been hit a lot in this round. Well, the tide very much turning in BATYRGAZIEV's favour in that round. I've got him 5-3, up through 8. So close round, certainly. But that was a big one. That will have put plenty of wind in his sails, just sitting in the corner with his legs out straight. No discernible damage to him. Meanwhile, backstage, final massage of the hand and wrist for Muslim Gadzhimagomedov. Well, that's the man we're watching now. Albert BATYRGAZIEV, he's in the ring. That was him loosening up a little bit earlier on. So into the 9th, a little bit of swelling underneath the left eye there of Carroll as well. He's got to try and protect that right eye. And blood just coming from that cut straight away again. It's a difficult one to get at for the cut man, really. As I said, I think it's on the eyelid rather than around the eyebrow. Good left hand again there from BATYRGAZIEV. He is a very accomplished fighter. We knew that before proceedings began, but this is a big step up for him. And you look at the shape, you look at the balance, you look at the economy. He's lovely and loose, just slides those punches out, uses that height well, the reach that comes with it. And that looping left hand is a problem, because it's well outside of a fighter's peripheral vision, really, the wide angle it comes in from, and I think they really struggle to pick it up. Good jab again there from BATYRGAZIEV. Nice left into the body there from BATYRGAZIEV. Nice combination from the Russian. Just dipped his knees right down, left into the body, right up top, and he's got Carroll trapped on the ropes a little bit here. And the crowd sense that he's really putting the hammer down now, BATYRGAZIEV. He's taking some stick here, Jono Carroll. Big left hand there from BATYRGAZIEV. Sets his feet and looks to just unleash those gloves, and Carroll eventually goes down under that barrage, and it's understandable that he does. And I'm not sure that he's going to make it here, Jono Carroll. He gets to the count of 8, 9. Is he going to land to continue here? The referee wipes the gloves off and he says yes. Albert Paternia's got the towel in his hand in the corner for Jono Carroll. I don't think we need to see too much more of this, if I'm perfectly honest. Carroll is a brave, brave fighter. He hauled himself back to his feet. Down he goes again, and the referee has waved the contest over. And that is a fantastic statement win from Albert BATYRGAZIEV. A really good performance. Carroll tried to take it to him from the start, set a hot pace, really asked those questions. And he hurt him, Carroll, too, in round 3, but he recovered from that well, BATYRGAZIEV, and after that, really took control. Turned the fight in his favour with his accurate, sharp punching, really did some damage in that 8th round, and then in the 9th, where you saw what happened, he stuck it out for as long as he could there, Jono Carroll, but eventually down he went. He hauled himself off the canvas, up onto his feet. The trainer was in the corner with a towel in his hand, and the referee Guillermo Perez-Pineda called a halt with what, about 30 seconds remaining in round 9. A stoppage win. And nobody's done that to Jono Carroll before. BATYRGAZIEV is the real thing, and having boxed at featherweight and lightweight, maybe super featherweight, it's exactly the right weight for him. He becomes interim champion now. Lamont Roach is the WBA champion. And here are the closing stages. Left hand into the stomach there. And there was a body shot that put him down. There was plenty before that. He managed to get back up as he comes over to this side of the ring and acknowledges the Russian crowd, who were generous in their applause. But it'll be very interesting to see what happens next for this fighter. Because he is a serious operator. Jono Carroll just getting ungloved, and then they'll be called to the center of the ring. And that bell will be presented to BATYRGAZIEV, who moves to 11-0 with 8 stoppages. As I was saying, he's so nice and loose and relaxed. He's got that reach. He can use that jab and that looping left hand, which is kind of an unusual shot with those long levers. It's just difficult to pick up. It's obviously difficult to pick up because it comes in from outside the peripheral vision and lands not all that heavy sometimes, but if it's clean enough, then it can do damage. Tough night that for Jono Carroll. He gave it absolutely everything, as he always does, but that was a hard night at the office. I think we need the belt. I think that's something that's missing from the equation at the moment. There we go. It's just been handed to the WBA supervisor, who is taking it up into the ring over on the far side. Okay, we're ready for the announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, your co-main event of the evening comes to a premature close, with WBA having scheduled this bout for 12 3-minute rounds for the vacant WBA interim super featherweight championship. And now for your official judge's decision. Ladies and gentlemen, referee Guillermo Pineda called a stop to the action at 2 minutes and 23 seconds in round number 9, declaring your winner by KO and the new WBA interim super featherweight world champion. He's RUS.
in terms of his will to win, and there wasn't. And there's that jab. He used that jab well all night long, really. And the wingspan on him is serious. There's that right hand.